Have you ever wondered about travel insurance? Today we talk about how to choose travel insurance, the 11 things you need to know in a post-COVID world.
Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea. And today we want to talk to you about travel insurance. We know it's not the most exciting topic, but we think it's very important to know all about it. At the end of the video, we will give you one extra bonus tip that can save you some money with travel insurance. So stay tuned till the end.
But first, if you like this kind of video and you want to see more of us, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. That way you'll never miss a video.
Absolutely.
Now, before we begin, we want to tell you that we are not licensed insurance professionals. And what we discuss in this video is really for entertainment purposes only.
And educational.
Yes. Every time you buy travel insurance, you should always consult an insurance professional. Also, keep in mind that these are general rules. Every insurance company is different and has a specific set of rules.
So read the fine print. Did you know that before COVID-19 pandemic, only 1 in 5 Americans bought travel insurance? I know. If there is one lesson we learned from the pandemic, is that it is important to have insurance coverage before your trip, especially if you're traveling abroad. Let's start discussing what is travel insurance and some important things and definition you need to know.
So, number 11. What is travel insurance? Well, travel insurance is a package that covers the traveler, like you and me, for one or more components of the trip. Some policies only cover medical emergencies while traveling. Others cover many or all of the components of the trip, including things like luggage, your camera, your phone. And most plans are individual, and a separate insurance policy for every person is required. Now, sometimes you can buy family plans that cover all of the members of a family traveling together, but most times it's for one person.
Exactly. And now number 10, trip cancellation. The trip cancellation component of the travel insurance refunds the whole amount of the trip in case one condition in the policy happens. What does this mean? Well, generally it means that in case one of the parties traveling or an immediate family member is sick, the insurance company will refund part of the whole amount of the non-refundable fare. The key in this component is to know exactly what are the conditions that can trigger the refund and what is the amount refunded. For example, some insurance companies include illness of a close family member, or a business conflict, or even adverse weather conditions. Other insurers don't. Some insurance companies let you purchase the cancel for any reason add-on of the travel insurance. In this case, the trip can be refunded for any reason whatsoever, but usually are a little bit more expensive. Also remember that this only covers non-refundable part of the trip. Anything that can get refunded by the airline, hotel, car rental, cruise line, etc. is not included. Also, many insurers do not cover free flight paid with points, or won in a contest. And generally, this component of travel insurance must be bought before the final payment of any part of the trip is made.
Yeah, good point. So here we go. We're going to talk about number 9, trip interruption. This component is very similar to the previous one. It means that if something happens while you are on your trip and you must interrupt it, you will get refunded the whole or a portion of the non-refundable fare. Like trip cancellation, you need to know which are the conditions that can trigger the refund and what is the maximum amount refunded.
And now number 8, trip delay. This component pays for any expenses incurred due to a delay in your transportation. For example, you miss a connection and you have to spend the night in a city, while the insurance will pay for the hotel, the food, the taxi, etc., up to a certain amount.
So not the caviar.
not the company. Most of the time, you will have to pay out of your own pocket and then submit all the receipt to the insurance company for the refund. Cruise lines offer a special kind of trip delay insurance in case your flight is delayed and you miss your embarkation. In this case, the cruise line will take you to the next port of call where the ship stops and board you the ship on the second port of call. You might need to buy the flight components from the cruise line in order to qualify for this kind of coverage most of the time.
Right, that makes good sense, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, number 7, baggage and personal effects. We all are always so afraid of our baggage being lost. And this part of your travel insurance covers your personal belongings in case they're lost, stolen, or delayed. Generally, the insurance company refunds you a set amount in case your personal belongings are stolen or lost, and a lower amount in case they're delayed. In general, airlines will refund you in case the baggage is lost or damaged if it's their own fault. And this insurance just adds an extra layer of protection. The insurance company might require some form of proof, or even something like a police report in case of stolen luggage. So there you know.
Don't put your jewelry in the suitcase because they only refund a small portion. And now number 6, travel medical insurance. Travel medical is probably the most important part of travel insurance. It covers the medical expenses, up to a certain amount, incurred by the insured during the trip. Also, travel medical often cover repatriation costs in case the traveler needs to be brought back home. Most of the time, you can buy this component of travel insurance on its own. It can be short-term, so less than 1 year, or long-term, depending on the duration of the policy and the trip. Being the most important component, you have to be incredibly careful to know exactly what diseases are covered. Check if it covers pre-existing conditions. Most of the time it doesn't. The age, the length of the travel, and if there's any deductible. You don't want any surprise.
Right.
A pre-existing condition is a condition that the traveler has before they purchase the insurance. Most insurance policies have different definition of pre-existing condition, and some don't even cover pre-existing condition at all, or they have a special rate and premium for pre-existing conditions. Many insurance companies have some medical questionnaire for the traveler applicant to fill before being approved. In case you have a pre-existing condition, it is imperative for you to consult with the licensed travel insurance professional before buying the insurance. In fact, many companies do not cover pre-existing conditions unless they are stable for at least 6 months. It is very, very important to answer each question in the questionnaire with the most amount of details in order to avoid problem in case you need a refund. The travel medical insurance also has age restriction. Travelers that are older of a certain age will not qualify and are not eligible to buy this insurance. So be very, very careful.
One thing to add is be truthful.
Absolutely, always. Many travel insurance do not cover adventure sports such as bungee jumping, kite surfing, so be aware of this exclusion. Also excluded from medical travel insurance are injuries caused by alcohol or drug consumptions. So, up to before 2020, almost all travel insurance did not cover for pandemics. Fortunately, this changed, and nowadays pandemic event is included in most plans. So, this is a good thing to
And I bet you most plans are now going to cost more.
Absolutely. But the bottom line is always read the fine print.
You better believe it. Number 5, validity of the insurance. Validity is another important detail to consider. The insurance must be valid for the entire portion of the trip. Many online travel insurances only cover trips up to, let's say, 21 days. And if you're going away for longer, you're going to need a different option. It's also very important to know if every country on your trip is covered by the insurance. Sometimes it's necessary to buy extra insurance for a specific country. For instance, Europeans going to the US need us to buy specific insurance for that. And when we went to Antarctica, we needed specific insurance for that.
Has to say Antarctica in the conditions. Number 4, accidental death and flight accident. Accidental death is a more morbid part of the insurance policy and covers the cost incurred to repatriate the body of the deceased. The beneficiary will receive a lump sum that will recover this cost for repatriation. And hopefully this is the one that you will never use.
Exactly. All right, number 3, guys. How to use travel insurance. Guys, listen up. This part is so important to know. When you think that you have a condition, like an illness, stolen baggage, something that might trigger an insurance claim, it is imperative to call the number provided by the insurance company immediately and follow the instructions that you receive. Well, okay, first call the authorities, 911 or whoever you need to. But next, call the insurance company, because if you skip this step, you might not be refunded by the insurance.
Absolutely.
In fact, I recall you had a medical issue that required. So first thing we did, drove you to the hospital.
Well, first thing, we were boarding the cruise ship that morning.
That's true. That's true. We were about to board that morning. He got sick. And what do? We took you to the hospital, got him checked in. And the next thing that I did was I called the credit card insurance company. And I'm glad I did, because they told me one document that I needed for this particular claim. They told me one thing that was needed from the doctor and a specific thing that the doctor needed to write. And if I had not gotten that, I would have never been able to go back to the same hospital to see the same doctor and get exactly what I needed written. And guess what?
We got the claim. We got the refund. The whole amount.
Like that. Like butter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if only your recovery was that fast. But hey, what?
Well, it was fast enough.
Exactly. So, you see, some insurance companies only allow using specific hospitals, while others cover any hospital, even private. And it's another reason to call your insurance, if possible, before going to a hospital. So when you sign up for travel insurance, you're going to receive a card with a worldwide phone number for you to call in case you need to file a claim, and do it. And everyone I've seen always accepts collect calls. And not that it should matter, just pay the damn fee already. Look, we strongly recommend that you save this phone number on your phone right away in case you won't lose it. In fact, I even recommend keeping a copy of the policy in PDF format or something on your phone, because you just never know when you might need to use it.
And now, number 2, credit card travel insurance. Many travel point cards and gold and platinum cards come with built-in travel insurance. In most cases, this is enough to cover someone during the trip. But you still need to know what is insured, how much, and for how long. Don't just assume that because your card has travel insurance, you are set. You see, if you see that the coverage is not enough, or your trip is longer than what is covered by your credit card, call your credit card company, and most of the time, you can ask if it's possible to have an extension for an extra fee. And if you decide to use your credit card travel insurance, also check the fine print, always. In fact, some credit cards require you to buy part or the whole trip using the credit card itself, in order to be able and eligible for the travel insurance. Similar to credit card, many health insurance plans cover medical expenses when traveling. These plans usually do not offer the trip cancellation, the trip interruption, and the personal baggage and belonging part of the insurance, just the medical. If this option is sufficient for you, contact your insurance provider to find out the details of the coverage while you are abroad.
Great advice. Number 1, what about those online travel insurance companies? Well, online travel insurance works well for younger and healthy passengers, like people with no pre-existing conditions or that aren't taking any medications. Online travel insurers can be a cheaper option, but if you decide to buy this type of travel insurance, make sure that you're in perfect health and that it's from a reputable company.
Absolutely.
Somebody that you know. So if you decide on this option, do your research.
Absolutely.
Now
the bonus tip. Annual plan versus trip per trip. If you travel abroad more than once or twice a year, you should consider buying an annual plan that will cover every trip you make on this calendar year, rather than per trip insurance. This might be cheaper. Always do the math and see which option is more beneficial for you. This kind of insurance, the multi-trip, let you travel abroad for a set amount of time, 15, 21, 30 days at a time, several times per year. Be sure to check back in the future and we'll cover car rental insurance. This is a whole world on itself, because you need an entire video on its own.
Guys, we really hope you enjoyed this video, even though it's a bit of a
dry topic.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, go ahead and leave a comment below.
Fantastic. See you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.